Welcome to London. My name is Winston Witter. I've been skating in London for the last 21 years. This city just has so many things to offer, well, especially as a skater, because you've got the architecture, you've got the nightlife, more skate parks now, so there's places to go. Within the skate world, it's a major part of the scene and there's a big nucleus. People are always coming through here. A lot of great skaters have come from London and are now established in different parts of the world. I think the thing that drives me at the moment is the fact that a lot of these places are at risk of being taken away. So what drives me as a filmmaker is that, if I can make a documentary and, put that sort of story together, like the fact that this place is so important to young people and the fact that they want to take it away and build flats. I think it's quite a powerful medium to speak to the people and to speak to the councils and the government.
This is Shell Centre. They've blocked it off, man, recently. Legendary spot. Way down at the end, if you can see there's white handrails. That's where gone to the 180, 50 down it. That was an amazing session. I don't know if you remember 411 where Simon Evans has a kickflip frontside blunt slide on the curb, it's just there. Yeah. The curb's kind of gone, but part of the other curb is there. See those little white ledges? Yeah. That was at the end of South Bank. And then through there you could go through to the big banks.
Tell us about London.
London?
Yeah. What's the best place to skate in London?
Here, I guess, South Bank.
What's the worst?
I don't know, Spitalfields. Spitalfields on a hot day, I think, is the worst. Like yesterday.
I first came to London and Winston was like one of the original guys who skated South Bank, and I was like hanging out with that crew.
Did it five again?
Yeah. At the time, South Bank was like still a big scene. It was still all opened up, it wasn't closed off like it is now.
When a place like this becomes like a sort of man-made skate park, it hasn't got the same soul, it hasn't got the same feeling, and it probably isn't very good to skate anyway. Whereas these places have got so much history and they're perfectly built for skating, even though they weren't designed for it. So this is the only sort of free space that we've got left in London, which we're not sure about. You come down there generation after generation all doing the same things. Come past it on a Friday night and you'd see all the little ones skating here and drinking beers, loads of girls hanging out, music, and it's like, that's what we were doing back in those days as well,
It was all about South Bank, really, from a young age. I think it was such a strong, potent feeling that it was just like this drive that sort of makes you think, fuck, like I just want to be skating there, I want to be like these guys, One of our neighbours was a South Bank local, and he used to skate outside our house. I'd sort of seen him with a couple of friends. I just loved the way the style of clothes, just their attitude or whatever it was, just something about it. And I used to watch him out the window, like, fuck, he was doing tray flips and back nollie flips and skating the curbs, and I was just like, so we were just like, we paid him to give us lessons.
This is our little sort of South Bank beach. This is where we used to just hang out in the summertime. Oi, Ben Job. What's going on, man? That's another South Bank legend right there. That's Ben Job, basically. He got nicknamed after the Ben Job in America, the Hate Street videos, because he kind of looked like him a bit. This is another big legend, man. Mr. Ben Job. Everyone still calls him Ben Job. I mean, that's your name, literally. Don't you? I mean, Andrew is his real name. It just doesn't work for me.
I filmed Ben Job for like the video that came out for Waiting for the World. He's just one of those guys that's like super hard to kind of like get stuff and film with, but if you do, it's like amazing. You get one trick of that guy and it's like gold dust.
He was a bit of a legend, to be perfectly honest. Good guy and an amazing skateboarder, like unbelievable. I think he did things like barefoot that you wouldn't even think about doing normally,
As long as you keep your feet kind of still, it don't hurt, does it? Kind of like quite still, but still moving.
I've seen him playing like harmonica or something like that, skating along, doing tricks, not looking at his board. Just crazy stuff. I think he 360 hip hop the bar at South Bank into the bank, from the flat into the bank, which is pretty crazy to do.
Do you remember what the sessions were like here? I mean, it's just like...
Yeah, the sessions were amazing, man.
Yeah, when it was
so many people, bloody hell. I mean, it used to be a big space, isn't it? Like, lots of area, lots of space, and now it's all like going to be taken down for shops and stuff like that, you know what I mean? just
they're going
bit
to
crap.
continue with this.
It's kind of like you can look at skateboarding like it's a culture, isn't it? And you like take away all these like indigenous cultures get all kinds of stuff taken away from them and sold back to them and what have you. All kinds of crap's going on in the world, and skateboarding is like something people have been doing creative and they're getting it taken away from them, even though they deserve it just as much as anybody else does, if not more so, for what they've been doing here and how much energy has been put into it. You know what I mean?
We're on our way to Harrow. Harrow and Wealdstone Station, Harrow Skate Park. We're gonna go see what's left of it because I heard that they're gonna knock it down. This is a trip down memory lane. I haven't been here for, I can't even remember how long. It's like, could be like 7-8 years. So here we are, we're at Harrow Wealdstone Station. This is the old route, man. With the old boys going to the skate park, usually about 20 of us deep. You know, we would leave South Bank and go to Harrow and spend days here and pester Ray and Gary for products and stuff in the store. Oh, let me have those wheels. Oh, let me have that board. Let me get some grip tape. Be interesting to see what the skate park looks like now because there was a fight to try to save it, and I think the fight was lost. The battle was lost. And they might have even started to take it apart. So we'll see what happens when we get there. So this is it. That's what we call the bollocks right there. I remember watching Ian Gunner pump around that thing every corner, taking the air, just non-stop. These are the old New Deal bunkers. The actual skate shop used to be in here. So you walk in, the counter would be on the right and it would form an L shape at the end, so it would go around. And that was an open space bit there. All the boards would be hanging on this side of the wall.
Perfect position just to go, ah!
They were good sunny days, man. You spend all the time hanging out, you know, loads of people coming in and out, loads of demos, loads of pros coming in. Going back to when I sort of first started out, yeah, you're just viewed as a kind of like a, I don't know, like a waster or like some sort of mutant or something. You know, being a skater back in the day, it was almost like you were skating naked with your body painted purple. It's just like people just saw you as just like an outcast. The same way they saw the punk rockers as an outcast, the same way they saw the reggae scene as outcasts. When you're not the football kid and you're the skater, then everyone's just going to diss you. Like, what are you doing skateboarding? You're wasting your time. That was how people got more closer together because we were all feeling the same pressures from everyone, like parents, there's people at school, our friends. It was so great to meet another skater. You're like, oh, there's another skater, like, where are you from? Because there was a time when there wasn't many skaters. So basically, you wouldn't really, you know, come across them as you do nowadays. You see skaters everywhere. You didn't even say hello to them because there's so many. But like that back then, it's like you knew everyone. Everybody knew everyone. And that was a great thing. I mean, when you look at it, it's a gate going around the whole park. So it's either you're in here to skate or like, why are you here, sort of thing. And so yeah, it was pretty much a safe haven skating here. Plus the shop was here. And like Ray and Gary were a couple of builders, so they were quite big guys. You know, so they were quite respected because they were big men. You know, the amount of times people will be coming down from, like, I don't know, Sheffield or something, just for the weekend, and they'll get to London and it'll be raining all weekend and they want to skate concrete. They used to get petrol and just pour it all over and set fire to it, and then that would burn it out, and then that would dry up really quickly, yeah. And you can skate it. It's amazing what you do for a skate. They haven't done any resurfacing or anything like that. And they built this back in the 70s. I mean, that's pretty good condition for like 30 odd years of nothing. But imagine, man, front blunt, bam.
What happened? What did somebody do?
Oh yeah, Mike Frazier, man. Just flew out here, front blunt, bam, straight in. I think that was like a front cover or something of, was it Transworld or something? Yeah. I think it was a Transworld front cover. Basically, it's like they built Romford, they built Harrow, and they built Stockwell, and it's the same people which built all three. And Stockwell's the only one they've done any work to, but Harrow and Romford have just been left. Stockwell. I think this place has been here since the 70s, and it's the same people who built Harrow Skate Park, the same builders. So you can kind of see the same kind of style when you see the big bowl and stuff like that. A big version of the snake run that they built in Harrow. Do you remember what this place was like back in the day, man?
I do actually. It was very rough. So if you fell over, you tended to lose like half your leg with like a nice rashi or a roasty, whatever you call it. And it was also empty. That was a major difference between now and then, is that there was hardly anybody skating it.
I think it's like school holidays or something, because there's like kids here when they're normally at school. If you come, yeah, like early afternoon, there's just like a few skaters here, and no like little kids.
Well, we first try, man.
There's been some good sessions here, man, and more amazing sessions going on nowadays. Amazing. This skate park's staying, it ain't going anywhere. They just spent, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands on it, but they've done a good job.
I live in Bath. It's a super old city, really nice, mellow place to live. There's a lot of old architecture here, so there's not too many street spots and stuff like that. I really enjoy living here. It's a super nice place to come home to when you've been away for a while. He looks like he's aggressive, but he's not.
He's really not. He's just like fucking Herbie!
Ah, you pussy. It's a good little place to grow up skating and learn stuff. Started off first couple of years just skating mini ramp mainly. But then just started skating the ledge a little bit. And then just flat land all the time. And skating the park a lot has taught me to skate most stuff really.
An event in Leeds, I think, was the first time that we met. Whenever I'm in the country and Ben's not away, we skate a lot, like events in the UK and stuff, just got little filming missions because I've got my own camera. My hometown's in Birmingham. I've always just skated the street, and there's just a small tight-knit crew that never gave up, you know. Then they built the skate park and a lot of people just skated at the skate park. And they always used to charge loads of money to get in and stuff, you know. When you're a little kid, you ain't got a job, you know, I ain't gonna go get a paper round for the sake of not riding my skateboard. So we like took to the streets way more, you know, and then like I got way more into transition, and now I sort of just have a general love for it all.
How'd you guys get hooked up?
Me just skating in Birmingham, I've got a company in Birmingham that's like a local board company, and they're the only company that make their boards, actually produce them in the UK. And that was based in my hometown, so my first sponsor was that, obviously. I've been skating for about a year and a half, and the guy at the shop just gave me a board, and, you know, and I was like, what? He's like, oh yeah, we're gonna like give you some stuff, and I was like, what do you mean? You're gonna give me free stuff, you know what I mean? Like just a little kid, just didn't really know what's going on.
That's a 7.8, that one, Striven Droid.
He phoned me the other day saying we're just sending it out now, so I reckon it's going to be another couple of weeks, isn't it?
Screaming and
Yeah, I only rode a couple of those, they're quite monstrous.
They're too big, are they?
That one's good as well.
It'd be that one there. You ever had that one before?
No, but I did look at one that was that graphic on the tour, and I think it was the same thing as the...
Yeah, we'll do a couple of them.
Alright, sweet.
Shiner's been going for we're over 30 years now. One of the oldest distributors in Europe, I think. Had a deep history of sponsoring people and passing people on to American companies, like Wainwright being one of them, and being on Powell. A number of guys have made the leap from Shiner and then over to the main companies. The only time it's kind of been the opposite is in the terms of Chris Vile. Alex Moe found him and put him onto us in that respect. We knew he was good, but he was riding for another company at the time. But Val was a sure-in for riding for Santa Cruz. Distribution in the whole of the UK, distribution in general, starts off from a shop sponsor. We deal with the shops, we sell to the shops, so we've got their back and they've got our back in that respect.
Cheers, Jerome.
They're keeping an eye out locally for raw talent and good skateboarders in general. And then we want to help those shops supporting up-and-coming skaters in their town.
It's a good shape, that one.
Yeah, so there's like a couple of random shapes there, but different.
That one was a good shape, I remembered it. Yeah,
so you ride them backwards anyway, don't you?
Yeah.
We deal with most of the American brands. We deal with like just everything from NHS to Alien Workshop, right through. Every shop has got their local sponsored kids. A few of them are above and beyond every other shop rider. So they're the ones that need to be looked after and hooked up. The guys will move on, they'll get magazine articles, they'll get coverage, video coverage, whatever it is. A few of them will step up into being hooked up as a direct flow, but still through ourselves because we get the product in and we pass it on.
I'll see you in a bit, Joe. Safe, mate. It's kind of weird sometimes because you actually realise that you've literally been on tour for 2 months and it's just like been separate companies, just sort of like the tours meet, you know what I mean? It's kind of cool when you can put it together like that and actually like make the stuff meet together. And then when you can't, maybe if you go to a place and you've got to be somewhere else a week later, you can spend a little week in that place, you know, just chilling out, having some more time to skate the spots and stuff. So it's kind of cool, like having the opportunity where people will pay for your travel, you know. And
yeah, that's amazing.
It's like it's an amazing thing about what we do.
It's fun.
I need to sell this afterwards. Like Roy Lichtenstein thing. My final exam piece in school, 15, 16. That was my telephone at the time. Pringles guy, gun, fish. When you finish college, you normally like have a year off and then go to university.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'd be doing now. But like, I just started travelling so much that I didn't have time for it at all. Like, there's no possible way I could go to uni. I don't think it would just collide too much with it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's not happening. And I don't want to anyway. I've been too many good places now. I don't want to go back into education. Yeah, just keep skating, travelling, just keep riding it for as long as I can.
It's different in English skating. Everyone's a bit more like just messes around more. Yeah, it's more laid back. If you've got a bad attitude or a big ego, people should just be like, nah, give it a rest. Which is, I like that. I really like that because it's not about having a bad attitude.
Yeah, for sure. Have someone to steer you in the right direction. You know, we treat each other like family. Look after your brothers. We're going into Bristol on the train. Be in Bristol soon enough. Whenever I come to Bristol, I always come through with different crews, and like we always end up going to different spots, like skating little bits you haven't skated before. So there's a lot of quirky little bits. It's one of those spots that if you haven't skated so much that it's quite difficult to skate. Ledges are really, really worn in, really round, so you need to have done some stuff there to like understand how to skate. And I always find it a pain in the ass to try and film anything there because it just takes ages. But it's a really, really good spot. Like, it's just legendary in its own right. It's been there forever, and everybody skates it, kills it, loves it.
As far as spots go, the English spots are a bit more rugged. Not hard to skate, but
take the rough with the smooth. It's all old stone and stuff like that. Like Germany and Czech Republic and Spain have got a lot of marble going about, so it's nice to have that kind of surface to skate on.
Who was the first pro that you guys saw?
Probably Danny Wainwright, because he lives about 20 minutes away from me.
I'd say Danny too, yeah, for sure, because he was the first person that was actually pro at the time. American skaters, it was like you watch a video and you're just completely in awe. But English skaters, you could go down the skate park and see them there, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's
Yeah,
a lot more interactive.
Say if you went to like a skate park when you were younger and you saw like a UK pro or something that you see in the magazine, like Sidewalk or something, you'd be hyped.
And then you see an American pro and he won't even talk to you. You know, you're a little kid, you're hassling him, and it's going to annoy the person. And you're not thinking about that at the time, but you know, all you want to do is like, oh my God, like, you know what I mean? And they're just like...
When some kids used to come through from other places, it would be like, I'd hide out the back, you know? Especially after that Ollie thing, you know? It's like, right, I'm not working, fuck it, you know? I'm going to stay away.
Since you brought that up, what was your career after that?
Things kind of changed a bit. Like, obviously people know you more and they think that's all you got. You know what I mean? Like other pros who like probably wouldn't even like piss on you if you were on fire, or other people would be like, hey Danny, what's up, blah, blah. It's just like kind of strange, you know? I think I stopped going to the States after that, you know? I just wanted to chill out, you know? Powell are always talking about like, you should do a Danny Wainwright high ollie challenge, you know? And I'm just like, dude, that's the worst idea, you know? I don't want it. You know, if someone beats it, they beat it. I'll be stoked, you know? Like, I've had my 5 minutes, let someone else do it. But it was good. A lot of things happened. Like, I managed to do a shoe and managed to do some colorways and get more involved in like product development or shoe design or stuff like that. That's what I want to do, really, you know? We started the shop in 1997, October of 97. And we just started it because there was such a good scene, you know, in the city, and we were both living here, but there wasn't a good, like a hub where people could go.
Been running it 11 years now, just moved into this new shop 3 weeks ago, and here it is, new 50/50 store.
Neither of us had a clue what we were doing. We're into skateboarding. I was on tour and Sid did a business course, you know what I mean? So I got away with the easy part, I went skating, and he kind of had to learn the ropes, you know? Like Sid had a job, you know, he was working, saving money, and then one summer I was like, I'm just going to try and do well at a few contests and just win some money. And that summer, it was 97, I got third in a big contest in London, got the money, threw it at the shop. We had a small shop up the road, we didn't know what we were doing, and we just went for it, you know, we just wanted to have a good spot, you know, and we're skaters and we know everyone, and everyone would come to us, and then we just slowly sort of grew and just ended up down here, you know. There's so many good skaters coming out now out of Bristol too, you know, because of all the spots and because of the scene, I think, you know.
I wouldn't say it's blown up completely. It's, you know, it's pretty big, but it's still kind of underground as well. There's a few different sort of cliques and groups, really. You know, there's like obviously Lloyd's has produced like all the, you know, like the ledge skaters, the stair skaters. You know, Karan, for instance, who can do like any trick down Lloyd's at art request. You know, and then there's all the skate park sort of crews. There's a lot of other parks cropping up now. You know, each park has its own sort of group of kids, and then like they all come into the city every now and then. The kids who have got really good nowadays, like in this era, have just seen all the people who have been pro living here. The standard of skating is really high. There's people like me and Danny from the start, Paul Carter, Flynn Trotman, and there's sort of next generations like Matt Keels, Zach Pitter, Will Ainley.
In the last 3 years, and still, the whole city's really generating and regenerating itself, so all the time there's new spots popping up.
Does everyone know there's a million spots here?
It's the best part of England, you know what I mean? This is the best, you know what I mean? Other than, you know, London's good, but to me here it's smaller, it's easier to get around, it's just as many spots, you know? It's not like millions of freaks, you know? It's just so much better for me here, you know what I mean? I love it, and it's southwest, sunsets here, you know? Perfect.
Triple whip. No, after you.
Triple.
It's the reason we're 5 foot out. Mad there, like. Oh, the triple. First man the trips, first go. That ain't on. Oh, the back 3 tail whip. Fucking awesome. Ender.